Since Elite Sanctuary Onslaught has been added, or was added, all of that time ago, I deleted this video recently, thinking, well, it's seriously out of date, because when it came out, I made a video about my Equinox build that I was using for it. Now, the funny thing is, I am still using that build that allows me to do basically this. This is one of the reasons you will see me every now and then using Equinox in night form, day form here, using the 4th ability. Now, before we get into the actual builds, you have to remember that using just the 4th ability in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught does not work all the time. Eventually, he is going to turn around and tell you that, Samaras is going to turn around and tell you that you cannot keep using the same ability over and over again. It ruins his data, and that is why I jump and use the 2nd ability a few times as well as the 1st. But you can see at the top right, oh, that was a sudden mouse movement in the wrong direction, 400 and something thousand, and I'm killing people on that platform all the way over there. That is because I set Equinox up for range more than anything else for this particular mission. Sequence of missions? You can actually see them being affected by this. They were taking little bits of damage over there. They are just out of range, but anyone that spawns in there, I was actually affecting, and that was 42 meters away. Nice range. Kind of wish it would hit those enemies over there, but I guess they're spawning just out of range. Of course, leaving the people behind me to deal with the people behind me, but just in case that there's an issue, I can always make them all go away anyway. That is the whole point of their ability. I'm just going to say her, because despite the fact that day form is male and night form is female, originally that was all changed and now she is classed as a female, hence, yeah. Let's not go there. Why am I deciding to do this now? Well, somebody basically asked me about the Equinox build, and I cannot remember why or how I set her up. I did this years ago now, when Equinox first came out. Well, when Elite Sanctuary Onslaught first came out. It was fine tweaked and then left alone. I haven't touched it in way too long. So did the other one go through? I was not paying attention. I'm going to hope so, because I kind of need to do the 8 rounds for Nightwave. Also worth noting, at the beginning of every round you want to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible, and try to spam this ability as much as you can, because once that timer on the top right goes out, which it's about to do, bing, you will get the bonus from the beginning of every round. Without that, you will basically be running around forever and a day trying to just complete anything. It really worth spamming that at the beginning of the mission. After that, just play it normally. It's that first 44 seconds of the mission that you want to spam her ability, even if it does completely mess you up for the rest of the time, because if you spam the ability too much, eventually, as I mentioned before and haven't been able to actually get it to work because I cannot get the power to keep this thing going all the time, Samaras will turn around and tell you off for using the same ability too much. I'm going to have to do this in the hope that I can get enough power to... Oh yeah, power usage, also a major issue in this. He's not going to say it, is he? Because I want him to say it. He didn't say it, but he has actually done it. Bottom right, the timer. I just went to reactivate the ability and it was there. So that's what I mean when I say, if you've played Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, you will know if you spam an ability too much, eventually Samaras will lock you out. So you need to be careful with this ability in here, but use it just right, or put a 2nd ability, any of the other abilities, just use it once during the mission, or between uses of his 4th, her 4th, god damn it, I'm never going to get used to saying that. And this is the point in the video where everybody turns around and tells me that the build sucks. What I have done is basically built this for range, efficiency and duration. This one is the A configuration. It still works, but it's not as effective in there And this is more the running around with her style build. You can see the stats for this one on the right. The stats for the ESO build, which strangely enough has its own selection here, is the stats on the left. That's because, well, I basically reduced power strength in favour of range. This is what made her more useful in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, because it has the added range. The massively increased almost 3 times range, increasing the efficiency and the duration taking a huge hit because of, well, minus 60, that only goes up 55. Does add a bit of efficiency, along with Streamline that's not actually in here. Intensify still in there. Stretch is in there with Overextend, which is what gives it the 280% range, as well as Cunning Drift. Yeah, it's not... I forgot Auger Reach was in there. That's why that should be shields, not health. Because that increases... No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. 80% of energy spent on abilities is converted to shields, so that really should have been shields, not health. Plus the shields recharges quicker. That's completely wrong. I should probably change that. I probably won't, though. I would probably leave this exactly as it is and just work on upgrading the arcane, because that replenishes energy to people nearby. One thing I do want to point out, the 130% power strength versus the 94 made, you're talking about tens of damage difference with her main ability. And that is why having the 94% power strength made no difference, and why I decided to concentrate more on the range and throw a little bit of efficiency duration in there. Really, it should be a bit more so you can keep the ability going for longer, which is why the A configuration has more power strength, because it helps with the other abilities, whereas the ESO build has 94% because it made pretty much no difference until you get power strength to 150 plus. That's when it starts to make a noticeable difference, and you will have to sacrifice range to do that. And with the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught builds, you really need range to be able to do a lot of damage to a lot of enemies at once. May in the future talk about the Volt builds, or maybe the Saren builds. Trinity's a fairly easy one. It's just basically an EV build. For Sanctuary Onslaught, Trinity being able to supply power means you can keep the 3rd and 4th of the day form of Equinox running pretty much constantly, which just increases the damage that she's capable of doing, which makes her really good. Trinity, Saren, Volt and Equinox, if you can get all 4 of them in a squad in there, they are absolutely amazing. I just favour Equinox and always have. No particular reason why, but I kind of got, let's just say, a little fed up with people asking me why I'm always using Equinox and why I'm doing this. And yeah, mainly because I was trying to work on the focus tree and I was using Equinox a lot, so she was just always equipped. The A build having a little bit more power strength, and I'm literally I think there was a total of 10 different damage between the two. It's got a shorter range but allowed me to do normal missions, and she had the better lens on. But the ESO build, that has been there for so long, I really don't know why I deleted that video all those years ago. I should have just done this, been done with it, and then when update 28 arrives, I was hoping yesterday, but well, that never happened, did it? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime next week. Really, there's no update on when this is coming, if it is coming, so while we wait for that, just kind of thought I'll put this up because people kept asking. So that is the Equinox build I use for Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, so we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.